You can use God's mind if you disconnect from your own. And it's free. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to access higher intelligence instead of just using your own very narrow-minded head. And when you do that, you can manifest anything you would like. And here on the channel, you have seen great results. In my life, I have had great results. So stick with me all the way to the end, and we will have a little chat about how to, when you set an intention, when you try to visualize something, when you try to affirm something, why is it not happening? Are you giving it enough space to breathe? Are you using God's intelligence? Let's talk about it in this video. Let's first start with a statement. I just had a good idea. That's a very simple sentence, but what is it implying? You had it. What does that mean? Who gave it to you? Yeah, but my head just had it. What do you mean your head just had it? Did you put fire onto, like fuel onto the fire, and it started really boiling and suddenly you had an idea? Did you force it really hard? Did you tense your entire system and then you had an idea? Like, what did you do? And people not familiar with how thoughts are generated in the head, ideas are generated, will to begin with think that they create the good ideas. And I'm here to tell you in this video that that is very far from the truth. And divine inspiration is happening everywhere. You can ask any athlete, when are they playing the best? When they're in the head trying to win the game, or when they're just flowing? You can ask any musician, where do you get your lyrics from? And most will say, and there's plenty of interviews about that on YouTube. They will say, I don't know whether some of them will say God, whatever that means to them, but a lot of people will just say the universe. I'm just the antenna. I'm just receiving the lyrics. And that's really like where we start with this, because where do you get your good ideas? Most of my clients are business owners, and if you would like to work with me, link is in the description. I help you through my 3 phases: my self-perception reset, where I help you realize your own power; my belief encoding method, where I find new beliefs for you to believe in; and then the frequency embodiment. How do we stay in such a high vibration that we change our reality fast? Enough about that. But where do you, as a business owner, whatever you're doing, get your good ideas? You do not get them by forcing it, right? You know that. You get them by standing in the shower, or sitting in silence, or walking in nature, or going for a run, or right before bed, or right when waking up, or when having a conversation with a friend. Or it's always in the present moment you get these ideas. And how can that be? Why is it not just forcible? How can I not just push the idea button in my head and then I get an idea? Because your head is an antenna. It's a receiver, and if you tune it to the right vibration, you can receive whatever you would like. So before we go on any further in this video, I would just like you to embrace mystery, because a lot of people would like to be skeptical. And I only have clients that really believe deeply in manifestation. But everyone is allowed to be skeptical. But embracing mystery means also just accepting that there is a solution to your problems, and you don't know the solution. And you don't have to believe in this, just look at your own life. How many of the solutions that came up did you know beforehand? And a lot of the solutions that brought you right exactly to the point you're at right now, you could not have imagined it. You could not have figured it out on your own. And that's what I mean by embracing mystery. Like, we are not trying to act as God. We are trying to have faith in God, source, consciousness, Allah, awareness, whatever you call it, like the divine entity that lives inside you. that can give you inspiration, that can give you ideas, that can give you synchronicities. That's what we're looking for, right? And embracing that mystery, I've had too many coincidences, synchronicities in my life to not believe in it. And for my own life, and I would encourage you to do the same, the more I embrace mystery, the more I just tackle the day with, I'm open to receiving surprises. The more I go with that the unfolding of my desired reality is a mystery, that you can actually be handed a new car by a stranger, that you can actually be handed a new house by a stranger, that you can actually find a winning lottery ticket on the street. The more you embrace mystery, the happier you will be. Because coincidences, they line up when you do that. But let's go on to the real part of this video. And I've written, you are the first point of creation. And it's hard to explain this. I've seen this in deep meditation, but the idea that happens in you is at the very forefront of creation. When you try to create a new career, when I do it with my clients, they would like to manifest a jump to a different industry, bigger revenue levels, whatever it is. When they create it in their mind, that's the first point of creation. So to go look for the result is madness, because that's the factory. The further you go out looking from yourself, the further in time, the further in space, the further you are moving away from that creation you just made. If you see it as like you in the center of the universe, you are the factory of creation, creating things and letting it flow out through you. And so to go looking for it is madness. It's just not showing it in physical reality. But when will that idea you get, that inspiration you get, when will that flow? Only when it is surrendered to flowing. So having ideas and trying to solve them is like not handing it over. It is like the people running with the Olympic torch, and they have to give it to the next one and the next one, right? And you have this idea, and you do not hand it to God, consciousness, Allah, whatever you believe in, right? You do not let it go. And that is why manifestation teachers, spiritual teachers will say, have the visualization, set the intention, feel it to be true, and let it go. And you're like, well, let it go? What does that mean? Well, it's handing it over to an intelligence far greater than you. The intelligence that created worlds, that created everything that you so much believe in today. Right? So you are allowing that to flow, releasing it, like in your system, feeling it. What a wonderful idea. I accept that idea. Yes. Let's unfold that. And just let it flow. Not let me try to solve that with another thought. Let it flow. Okay? Because that is what it means to be the first point of creation. It is that you are responsible for collapsing that reality in that moment. And in that moment where you have that thought, you are having an entire life in that moment. I don't think we should spend more time in that in this video, because it will become too abstract. But you are visiting a new reality, the entirety of it in one moment, knowing it to be true, collapsing those waves into particles, attracting it slowly into your present now moment in this physical reality. But when you don't allow it to go, it cannot unfold. But you entail everything when you relax. And I'm not a native speaker, so entail, is that the right word? Maybe it is you contain everything when you relax. Let's just use entail, and you can tell me if it's the wrong word. When you relax, you can have your consciousness move beyond your body. And you can do this just now. You can just pause the video and just recognize you sitting here with me, that you can somehow feel the space around you. Try going half a meter, maybe each side of your body. And you can do it as an experiment. Close your eyes, lay down in your bed, and feel your entire home with your consciousness. Have your sense of consciousness in your system, and then slowly expand it to the room, expand it to the house, expand it to the entire city you're living in. And then you have a sudden, like, grandiose sense of, am I a part of everything? And yes, you are. But what I really mean is, so your consciousness is everything at all times in this present moment. I am, which is existence. My consciousness exists here and now. That very famous sentence, I am here and now, which means that entire consciousness is at this place of time. You can feel love, you can feel euphoria, you can feel madness, you can feel sadness, you can feel anger, you can feel everything. You just don't feel it in this physical moment, right? But you can get a sensation that because you can feel it, you entail it, like you have the capability of it. And because you only have one moment, you never visit the future, the present, the future, the past, you have no other places to experience that. So for you to say, I don't feel it right now, well, you did feel it now, and you do feel it now, just not now, right? But you did feel it in the present moment. So you entail every emotion. You can agree to that, I think. But you also have every memory and every future memory in your now moment. And you also have everything, every atom in your now moment. And the more you dive into this in meditation, the more strong you'll feel, because you will get this sense of recognition that you are one with everything. You entail everything. There's not an emotion you need to seek, it's yours. You use physical items to release it. You use it as what I would call a permission slip. Now I can feel good because I have money in my bank account or something else, right? But you have that emotion. It's yours. Even when you feel in love, that love is yours. It comes from you, that love you feel. You just only allow yourself to feel that like that infinite love in that moment. Now I can feel it until I'm slowly filled with bad thoughts again. Right? Now I can't allow myself to feel that. So every emotion, but also everything, if you can think of it, consciousness is not more real because it sees things with eyes. Like eyes are a separate sensory organ, viewing stuff. But consciousness is your source of creation. It can see everything. Close your eyes, watch a polar bear. That is as true to consciousness. That polar bear is being represented somewhere in your mind also, right? So you entail every image. You can just view it, and you have it in your system. So give ideas space, right? You need to breathe, and you need to everything that you would like in life to surrender to you having it. It's really saying, okay, I can have it. I allow myself to have it. I surrender to the idea of having it and not having to work for it. I surrender to the idea of not knowing how to get it. I embrace the mystery of my desire unfolding. That's really how you connect to God's mind. It's just knowing it to be true. Because there's not a single thing that consciousness can't give you. It has already given it to you. You decided, before going here, not to have everything all at once. If you would like to eat, like Esther Hicks puts this beautifully, would you like to eat every meal for the rest of your life now? Right? Nobody in their right mind would say yes, because that's not human experience. So the important question to leave with in this video is, who is my manager? Me versus God. And so I know it's very common in this industry to say that you are God. Hopefully you'll notice the difference between you and God in terms that the unseen, the things unfolding, collective consciousness, you are a drop in the ocean. So I'm really saying it's the drop versus the ocean. Who's your manager? Who is best at solving your problems? You or the ocean? God, Allah, consciousness. And this especially goes out to also my clients, but everyone really trying hard to manifest. It is realizing that you can do it well without even knowing about manifestation, which should tell you that it's not about knowing techniques. It's not about affirmations. It's about aligning. It's about knowing it to be true. It's about being it, encompassing it, really just embodying it in this present moment. That you are already what you would like to be, because you entail it all at this moment. And when you entail it all in this moment, spiritually, mentally, then the physical part of it will unfold in external reality. So it's not looking, it's not, I had a comment that asked me, so what else could I do? Well, you cannot ask that question and be it at the same time. It cannot coexist. Because this implies more to do, which means not having it. So having it is just stopping doing whatever would get you to have it. So when an idea comes, just accept it as yours. It's mine, it's unfolding, it's on my timeline now. I would love that. That sounds great. Let's see how that arrives. You can hear, hopefully, how powerful that is. Just checking it off, right? The ideas you don't like, I will give that to somebody else that wants it. That thing I would like. Perfect. Let's include that in my now moment. See it as true, know it as true, know it to be true, know it to be unfolding at this very moment. Final exercise to leave you with something practical, because I like being practical. After X, that could be anything, invite presence and no words. I should have told you in my meditation here on YouTube that I would invite you to do my meditation and then maybe not speak for a few hours. Because it's like you cannot see it, but you can maybe find the gist of it in meditation. But it's like when you put oil into water, it's encapsulated, right? That is a totally different talk. That is not how this works, but it's to give you an analogy, a visual representation of this. And you encapsulate something that you have just done by doing something opposite, right? So if you would meditate with my meditation, become one with God, sit in silence, invite everything in, and you would give that room to breathe. You would send out that vibration. And then in that same second, you would say, yell at your husband, tell him to turn down the music, right? Whatever. Weird example, but you get the point, right? You would immediately, at that moment, turn down the radio station of your current status of very powerful, and turn on another station. So you would encapsulate that little vibrational difference, a little music note. You would encapsulate that in a big song of bad notes, because you don't give it room to breathe. It's the same with these ideas, right? This is the same thing. So if you're doing it with presence, it's all the same thing. Ideas are vibration as well. So it's really, how can I let that unfold, and how can I spend more time in that? It's really spending more time in it, not more effort in it. Everyone, Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard, they would tell you effort is ruining it. Like Neville has an entire, is it a book or is it a chapter? The Effortless Way. Now I don't have my book with me, but the Effortless Way, where he tells you you should remove all effort from trying to manifest. All effort. And the metaphysical part of it is encapsulating that. Like if you could, like, imagine you're throwing a rock into the ocean, right? And the waves, they would move, right? But then the next second, you threw it, and then as soon as the first wave would appear, you would just hit the water, right? It would somehow ruin that very peaceful vibration you just threw out. Let me attract this. So let's start looking at you, and you should look at you. It does not matter if you're a business owner, athlete, artist. Look at yourself through the lens of vibration. Notice your state. Okay, now I'm flowing. Man, I feel good. I feel abundant. I feel love. I feel ecstatic, right? And knowing these waves are flowing out of you, encompassing the entire universe as we speak. And then notice, when am I ruining that, right? So if you would like to solve a problem, sit in silence. You can set the intention, I would like to find the solution, but you don't have to. After affirmations, after visualizations, after meditations, invite presence and no words. So if you have to do something, peel potatoes for the dinner tonight. Do as Eckhart Tolle would tell you to do. Peel potatoes while you peel potatoes. And most people won't do that. They won't feel the potatoes, the cold potatoes against their skin, the roughness of the skin maybe. They will have an argument with their boss while peeling potatoes in their head. Now I have to check my bicycle, and I have to, right? You know what I'm saying. Also, after meditation, open your eyes again. Just notice your system, notice your body, notice your breath. And the practical side of you wants to say, but I'm not doing anything. Can't I do something? You are doing the best thing you can do. You're letting God work for you in the grid that is right behind the reality you are able to observe. He is not busy. He's never busy. But he is at a very rapid pace, moving things around. How can we give this guy or this girl everything they want? Okay, they don't believe me. Okay, then let's wait. I'll wait for them to believe me again. Let me go to somewhere else, right? I'm playing a story right now, but it's for really to getting your system to know, find that wavy state, that flowy state of your system, where you just recognize you have it already. You are, by using God's mind, you are using the best mind, right? And also recognize this video is not religious. You are connecting to the divine inspiration, infinite intelligence, by relaxing. Yes. I have a workshop coming up next week, and it's almost for free. You can buy access link in the description. You can also hire me as a coach in the link in the description. Hope you loved this video. I think it's a good one. Get out of here. Bye.